Fine now? Is my audio fine now?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is
So now let's go ahead with the remaining part of the discussion. So here we are talking about the tools that are available on BTP. So being a developer, what do? You basically build applications, and then some of you maybe are involved with workflow or automations and so on. We'll discuss about the second part after a while. But first part is building an application. It could be a mobile application or it could be a browser-based application. Now, to build cloud native applications on BTP, you basically have three different tools on BTP. One, RAP, where you follow the cloud RESTful application ABAP programming model. You use ABAP cloud programming language, and that's one part. And second one is CAP. This is cloud application programming model where you use Java, JavaScript, and so on. And third one is SAP Build. Please know SAP Build. What is the difference at high level among these three? CAP, RAP, CAP, and SAP Build. Please know, like CAP and RAP, SAP Build is not a single tool. It is a family of tools. It comprises four, yes, as of now, three, but soon build code also will be part of build family tools. Okay. So let's look at the chart. Now, I'm not going to explain the details of CAP and RAP because that's not relevant for this session. But if you have questions, please ask me. Now, we will get into SAP Build family. Okay. Within SAP Build family, there are basically three tools. Build apps to create the cloud native applications, native cloud applications, either mobile application or a web application. Okay. Now, build process automation is to automate the process, or you can record the screen and then automate it. Or if you want to interact your on-premise system with a third-party application, I'll give you an example. I'll come to that. The second one is build process automation. Third one is build work zone. Now, in build work zone, there are two editions or versions. One is the standard and the second one is advanced. What is the purpose of the standard build work zone edition? Here is the point. Once you build the application using build apps, where do the users access it? They don't get into build apps to use the application, right? Likewise, with the build process automation, when you have a form to trigger a process, where do the end users access it? So, to give the access to the end users, either for applications or for the forms to trigger the process, you deploy them, or in fact you federate them on work zone, build work zone, and then you have the choice, or user as the choice, whether to go to work zone site or to access them on the mobile phone using SAP Mobile Start. Okay, using SAP Mobile Start. Now, soon, by the end of this month, build code also will become part of SAP Build family. Now, what is build code? Build code is the tool. See, basically, you know that for the IDE on BTP for developers is BAS, Business Application Studio. Okay, so the same tool, BAS, is also being made available as part of Build family tools, and it is called Build Code. And they are adding Joule within build code. Okay. So just not to have confusion, the summary again. Soon, by the end of this month, there will be an addition to the build family where you will have build apps, build code, build work zone, and then build process automation. So within build family, you have two options to build applications. Either you can use build apps or you can use build code. If you are using build code, Joule will help you to create the code, especially as of now, the data model and service. For, for UI, you have to use the standard Fury UI freestyle or Fury elements. So I think this is the overall summary, and then we'll go ahead with the questions now. We'll start the questions with Surya. After that, we'll come back to the questions that are in the chat. Now, Surya. Surya, please go ahead with your first question. By the way, 1 second, just for clarity's sake, guys, there is a bit of role change here. Normally, I ask the questions to the guests on my show, but in this case, Surya will ask the questions and I reply. That's the reason I was explaining the overview. Now it's Surya's turn to ask the questions. Surya, please. Your audio, Surya, it looks like you are in mute.
Is it fine now?
Yes, yes.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, you are making us listen the music as well.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead,
that's
please, with the
really,
question.
yeah, that's really good intro, Venkat. So, we almost have an idea about what is Bill and what is in there. So now my question is, how did how does it stands out in 2024, like in the SAP customer space, as we have, cutting edge technologies like ChatGPT and other AI product to design the application, right? So without writing a code. So how does it SAP Bill help our SAP customers?
Okay. So now the question is, how does what is the when the context is changing in the external environment with the new tools like ChatGPT or whatever those tools, what is the relevance of SAP Build in 2024 or beyond? That's the question. Okay. See, it is very important that you brought up these new developments or new tools. But the point is, SAP is simultaneously working on including those tools as part of SAP applications in various SAP applications for that matter. For example, by the end of this month, you will have build code as part of SAP Build Family, as I said earlier. Now, within build code, there is Joule. As we are talking about, Joule is AI Copilot from SAP, and it works with LLM models, large language. I'm not getting into the technicalities of AI, but for the sake of our discussion, I always use either Joule or ChatGPT because people understand that quickly when we are talking about Gen AI, generative AI. Okay, so by the end of March, you will have build code as part of SAP Build Family Tools, and Joule is there to write the code, meaning that you also will be using generative AI to write the code and build an application. So once you learn SAP Build Family, you are up to the date. You are not missing anything. Okay.
Wow, that's really great. So is that mean? So we are going to have SAP Build with integrated with Gen AI. I mean the Joule, which is part of Gen AI, right, Venkat?
Correct,
So
correct. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's really great. So we are so excited to use it. So, and
Yeah.
the next question, Venkat. So and the the every SAP consultants would more think of that. How many SAP customers are using the SAP Build products? So
Oh, yeah,
basically,
great.
so
So before answering your question, let me choose something. I'll answer that. Somebody is asking here. Gautam is asking. will SAP Build replace SAP UI5 Fury in future? No, 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 Gautam, no way. Okay, let's have clarity on this. In fact, I would like to address this question in detail. I'll come back quickly. Let me explain this, Surya, because many people ask me the same question in different formats. They change the words, but at the end of the day, I understand what the intention of the question is. This is the same concern. The question is, I'll take 2-3 minutes. Maybe my answer would be detailed and lengthy, but it's required. Okay. The question is, will UI5 freestyle or Fury elements be replaced by SAP Build? The straight answer is no. Okay. Now, the immediate question would be, what to choose in my application? Either should I choose SAP UI5 Fury, Fury elements or SAP Build? Before getting into the details, let's have clarity. In this case, I would like to correct Gautam slightly. He is not talking about SAP Build. SAP Build is a family of tools. In this case, he wants to ask about Build apps. That's the tool that is to build UI part. Now the question is, or the details are, what is the role of who is building the UI part? We know that for any application, either mobile application or browser-based application, the components are basically database, service, and then UI. What is the role of UI5 freestyle or Fury elements to build the UI part? What is the role of build apps to build the UI part? Now, which one to choose depends on what you know as a developer. Do you know only ABAP that is helpful to build the backend in this case? Or do you also know the UI5 freestyle or Fury elements so that you can build the UI part as well? If at all you are a just backend developer, for you need not to go to the front-end developer, or you need not to know JavaScript to develop the UI part. You can straight away use build apps which doesn't require any coding, and it is easy to learn and it is fast. So the point is, either you are a backend developer or you are a full stack developer. If you are a backend developer, to develop the UI part, you need not to learn UI5 or Fury elements. You can use build apps. Answer 1. Answer 2. Let's say you are a full stack developer. You can develop both backend and frontend. My question is, do you use air compression to blow the balloon? Again, let me repeat this. It's a funny answer. My question is, if you are a full stack developer who can develop both backend and frontend, do you use air compressor that is used to fill the tires of a truck to blow a balloon? No, you don't do that, right? You just blow the balloon with your mouth. Likewise, depending on the requirement of the application, if the application is not complex one, if the application is a simple one, why do you want to use UI5 freestyle or Fury elements and consume a lot of time? Use build apps, which is easier and which consumes less time and which is also effective while you are while you are interacting your application with non-SAP systems. It's easier in build apps. Okay. So this is the second answer. It depends on the person. If you are a full stack developer, if you are a backend developer, use build apps instead of learning UI5 freestyle. If you are a full stack one, consider the nature of the application, complexity of the application. If it is a simple one, why do you go for UI5 or freestyle or Fury elements? Use build apps. My point is, choose the right tool for the right job. Because you have an air compressor, you don't blow the balloon with air compressor, right? Now, Let's come back to Surya's question. The question is, how many SAP customers are using SAP Build Family Tools? In fact, this is the question for SAP, not me. I don't know how many customers are using, but at many places I see that, or I heard from SAP people saying, as of now, 10,000 customers. Okay, that's what I heard or I read. But here is the point, please note. We need to understand SAP's cloud strategy. As per their Ambition 2025 document, they say their cloud revenue would be 21.5 billion euro by 2025, meaning another not even 2 years, right? So why am I talking about their cloud revenue? And there is another point. My understanding, considering the nature of the market, how the market is moving, by 2027, in another 3 years time, around 40 to 50% of SAP customers will be moving to cloud. Okay, what is that number when I say 40 to 50%? SAP's customer base is 400,000, meaning 4 lakh customers. In Indian, we use lakhs, right? So if I say 400,000, may not be clear for many of the people. So 4 lakh customers. If 40 to 50% of SAP customers move to cloud, meaning around 200,000, let's say 2 lakhs people will be on cloud. That's huge. What is the relevance of moving to cloud when we are talking about SAP Build products? The relevance is, when SAP is selling cloud products, they are selling in packages. They have 2 packages: Rise with SAP, Grow with SAP. As part of those 2 packages, SAP is offering SAP Build tools as free. When I say free, it's part of the package. So customers need not to subscribe by paying additional amount of money, meaning that the more SAP succeeds in their cloud strategy and the customers move to cloud, the more customers would be using Build tools. Okay, very important. That's the reason I often say this is the right time to start learning and using Build tools. And then before you, I think I answered your question, Surya. Before taking your question, let's look at our people.
Yeah.
Maybe Kavita, please help comparing build, cap, and wrap. Please watch the video. I answered that in the beginning itself. Comparing build, cap, and wrap. See, this is my point. People, okay, let me, Kavita, for the sake of your understanding, or let me add another point for my previous explanation. They try to or tend to compare build with the cap and wrap because whenever they hear SAP build, they always assume or think build is all about building mobile and web applications, which is not true. Because what is the purpose of cap and wrap? Basically, you are building we are creating web and mobile applications, right? You can do many other things, but at an essence, that's what you are doing. That's the reason you try to compare with the build apps, which is only one component of SAP Build Family Tools. Okay, please note. Now here is the point. Your cap and wrap, what do they do when it comes to building an application? They build only the backend, not the UI. No, for UI, the only option is either UI5, Freestyle, or Fury elements. My point is, if you want, or in fact, you can use cap and wrap for the backend. And for front end, what do? Only you have one option. You have 2 options: either UI5, Freestyle, or Fury elements, or build apps. If you want to use UI5, Freestyle, or Fury elements, you need to learn if you are a backend developer, you need to learn new programming language like JavaScript, and then you need to spend time for that. Instead of doing that, choose build apps, which is easier, need not to learn a new language, and it doesn't take much time. Okay, so that's the quick answer. Now, what else? Oh, this is an important question from Venkat Abhilash Dasa. Can't we develop complex applications with build apps? It's not about. I love this question, Venkat Abhilash. See, in my experience, I have developed a few applications in real time, and we deployed it. I have not seen anything that is not possible with build apps, for example. I have not seen that. See, somebody the other day was writing on LinkedIn saying field validation is not possible on build apps. Like, let's say, if the user wants to have a red color border when the input is not correct. Let's say sales order is entered. If the sales order doesn't exist, he wants the border to turn into red color. That's quite easy, man. And in build apps, I did that many times. Okay. So people who haven't actually tried it, they come up with various points. But I have point one, Abhilash. I have not seen anything as of now, that is not possible with build apps. Okay. Even if it is there, my understanding is SAP will get it because they are investing a lot of resources on build tools. Point two, I don't prefer, even SAP doesn't prefer to build complex tools, complex UI with build apps. That's not the purpose of it. Okay. That's it. Different tools for different purposes. Use the right tool for the right job. You use air compressor for filling the uh, tires for trucks, but at the same time, because the capability is huge for air compressor, right? But you don't use that to blow the balloon. For balloon, you can use blow it with your mouth, which is convenient, takes less time, doesn't require any tools. Oh yeah. So here is a good question from Gautam. Will build interact with only S4 HANA, or it can also work with ECC? Oh yeah, with ECC also. See, with the build destinations can we? As for HANA, we don't have APIs, right? You have to confirm. It's been long time. I don't remember exactly. Do we have APIs in ECC? Do you work on ECC, Surya?
No, Venkat. So probably we have been working on S4HANA only recently. So
Yeah, for me it has been long time. I don't remember
yeah,
exactly.
but
Um,
if they wanted to utilize any APIs, they have to go with auditor services. So
yeah, what data services are there? Yeah, that's it. Could you please increase the volume? Oh, my volume is not good or what? I come closer. Maybe you. So please help. And what else? Any other question from you, Surya? Meanwhile, let me look at the chart.
sure, Venkat. I think you answered my next question, so I will go ahead with my another question. So, for example, I have a time to learn about SAP Build products. I wanted to learn from scratch to expert level. So where can I learn, and where I can practice the application development of SAP Build products? So
This is a good point. So now you are coming to learning because you are convinced and understood the requirement or the need for learning build tools, and you are asking how to learn it. See, let me put it this way. The best document is always SAP documentation. Nobody can beat that. Okay, it is like a user manual when you buy any new product. Everything is there. But the only problem is it's difficult for 90% of people to read it and understand it. they need to spend a lot of time, and because many of the people already who want to learn build are already working in SAP space and they don't have much time. So that's a constraint. Now there are tutorials, developer tutorials, you know that, but that's the problem is they are bits and pieces. You need to choose various bits and pieces and combine them, understand them. Otherwise, you will end up doing each one of them separately, and you never get a big picture. Okay, you never get a realistic picture. You always go by the examples that are given in tutorials. You can't think beyond that. You can't implement a real-time scenario. Okay, that's the problem with that. At the same time, let me take this opportunity to explain the people that I also provide training for SAP Build tools on BTP. So basically, my training, see, I'm telling this because I think or I got the feedback that people from people that I explain things easily that everyone can understand because I always use my hands, okay? So in my training, what I do is, as part of SAP Build, we build the real-time scenario applications that those applications interact with the backend S4 HANA system, and also they interact with non-SAP systems, external systems. We build the applications as part of the training. And then we deploy them on BTP and federate them on work zone, build work zone. And then we also give the access, this is all as part of the class training. I also show you how to give the end users access on SAP mobile start for the applications that you built using build apps. So the training covers the entire cycle. Not only that, now I also show you we do that as part of the class, how to build the processes in SAP Build Process Automation, and how to make your processes interact with the backend systems using action projects. So here we use the APIs, and also wherever there are no APIs, I make use of BOPs. Those BOPs interact with your backend system as part of build process automation and post the document or get the details, whatever you want to do, you can play with them. And at the end, as part of the class, I'll also show you how to do a recording, screen recording, and then do the automations either attended or unattended. So basically, the training covers everything that is there on SAP Build as of now. At the end, one more thing. By the end of the month, Build code will also be available for public, and I will also cover briefly about build code as part of my training. Because this is the context, let me tell you the people, tomorrow there is a demo session, and the people whoever want to attend, they can send an email to my email ID, and we will send you the invitation to join the demo. The last one, what is my email? I thought of showing it, but you can try to remember it. Or somebody, Prashun is there. Maybe Prashun can help me to type that so everybody can understand. Hi, Prashun. So the email is SAP Build, BUILD dot training @gmail.com. Let me repeat it again. SAP Build dot training @gmail.com. So go ahead. Surya, before you ask one question, I'll come back to Prashun, but somebody asked me a question here. Muthu Kumaran Subramanian. Is SAP renaming BAS as build code or build code? This is a good point, man. I wrote it. See, the question is, Muthu Kumaran's question is, is build code is bash plus Joule. You are spot on. That's right. See, in fact, in the month of November, during TechEd, SAP announced build code. On the same day, I wrote a post on LinkedIn saying this is a rebranding. I explained everything within build code. The next day, on the same day when they announced it, saying build code is bash plus Joule, nothing more than that. Okay, you are right, Muthukumaran. Now, what is the question from Prasun? To get a job as a BTP consultant, is it mandatory should have coding experience in SAP ABAP? My friend, my dear friend Prasun, when you say SAP BTP consultant, that's not a specific. See, people ask you BTP consultant, but that's not true. What is BTP consultant? There is nothing. It's not specific. If you say BTP admin, for example, you don't need coding experience. You manage the like basis people. You do the administration of the BTP platform. Okay. If you are talking about a developer on BTP, then I need to ask you either it is cap or wrap. Okay. If it is cap, you don't need ABAP. I say JavaScript, Java. If it is wrap, then yes, ABAP Cloud, which is the cloud version of ABAP. Okay. Hey, many people are sending. They got my email correctly. Many people are sending the emails.
Yeah, they do not want to miss
I see.
training.
Let me thank Angel, and then Venkat Abhilash Dasam for typing the email. Thank you. Please go ahead, Surya.
Okay. So Venkat, so now we know the learning path. Now the next question is, so what type of application can be developed by SAP Build apps, and then how long does it take to create one applications? One let's say example for one sales or a report, or how we can connect the backend data to the SAP Build product. So what are the components are needed?
Great. So, in fact, you combined three questions or two questions. Okay. First question is what sort of applications can we build? We can build both web applications and mobile applications. There is no limitation on that. That's one. And second one, it's how much time it takes. If it is a report for a sales order, for example, sales orders, it is taking the data from only one API, one OData service. It doesn't take more than, in my experience, let's say 2 hours, or oh yes, maybe 3 years. See, it depends on how beautifully you want to build the UA. Okay, you get the data once the BTP destination is created. That's it. You get the data into build apps. Okay. Now, what sort of UA you want to build? That's one. And second one, see, in real time, what happens is you need not to create the build apps application from the scratch. This is my recommendation. Please note. The people who are experts, one or two people in the company, they build a template for build apps application. The template contains color combination, the logo, where should be each button. You define your own corporate branding. Okay. When you do that, two purposes will be served. One is you can maintain the uniformity across all build applications. Otherwise, everybody builds an application which is different from each other, and users will get lost. Okay, so you have a template. So you ensure the uniformity across all applications. A and B, it gives you an opportunity to build an application within no time because you already have a template. Okay, so now Surya, before taking your question, let me look at audience questions. What will be the role of developers and functional consultants since Joule and Build apps are user friendly? Wow, I love this question and can be used by the end users for their simple requirements. Ariharan Shanmuga Sundaram is asking the question, what about developers and functionals when everybody can build with the help of Joule? 3 points. Point one, you cannot control the developments or the changes that are happening in the external world. This is beyond our control. We can't stop the developments of AI. Okay, or everybody is interested and it's quite amazing, and then people are working on that, and everybody wants to make an application to make money using those technological innovations. Okay, one, you can't change the external environment. You can do anything. You cannot do anything about it. Two, is it true that everybody can build applications using them like end users? No, 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 no. Don't go by that. That's completely, I don't want to use any negative words, completely nonsense. It doesn't make sense. I'm telling you with my experience, I have seen many people. Again, please note, SAP is saying every end user can build the applications using these tools. No way. Take it for granted, my answer. It's not possible. Yeah, they don't understand. See, you need to have. Okay, let me take a second. Okay, here is the answer. To build the application, the tools, technical skills, language, this is one set. Okay. And the second one is the attitude to get into the details, understanding the requirement, and then having a mind map in your mind how to translate that into an application. It's not that easy. And in my experience, I have seen many people, even 5% of end users, oh, I don't think even 5% of end users can do that. I don't think so. No, no way. And the point is, even functional consultants, I'm telling you, need to spend time to understand that. Okay, they need to understand the concept, how it works. They need to practice it. Then they can do it. So don't worry, Hariharan. It's not that easy as SAP or somebody says everybody can build. No way. Okay, you need to practice that. You need to spend, and the people see. I have heard many people, end users, saying, okay, in different places when I'm talking to them, hey, why should I build these applications? Then what are you there for, IT people? They already have their own task to complete. Okay. so Surya, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, Venkat. So, Venkat, so once the application is built and ready for the production use, so how the end user can able to access the application?
Oh yeah, see, this is a good question. In fact, I addressed it right in the beginning itself. You build an application and then you deploy that on BTP, federate that on work zone, and then give the access to users using SAP Mobile Start. So see, if I just explain with the words, you will get confused. What is deploying, what is federating, and then once I federate on it work zone, how do I get the access on mobile start? This is all in the air, okay? But that's all what I can do now. I can show you, right? So this is what happens. The end users will have access on SAP mobile start. Now, I think let me how does the role differ from functional and technical? Oh, the question is only half of the question. Uh, the question says, how does the role differ from? functional and technical. I mean, there is no the remaining part. See, I don't completely understand the question because something is missing in my understanding. Maybe he wrote that question having heard something from me, but we are not conversing face to face, so I can't get the context of the remaining part of the question. Now, okay, let me spend. Okay, Surya, let's do one thing. We have another 10, 13, 14 minutes. This is my request for all the people, whoever are there. I see all the questions related to build apps with applications, mobile and web applications. Please ask questions related to process automation as well. Please note, as I said, or as I have been saying in many number of times, build is not only build apps. Within SAP Build, there is a tool called Build Process Automation with which you can design the processes. Okay, let me give you an example. Otherwise, if I don't give you an example, you don't understand what is designing a process, what is an automation. Okay, let me uh, see this example. I'm just let me give you an example. There are many scenarios you can see. Simple one. Let me give two examples. Let's say, for example, there is an event in the backend SAP system. Either it could be ECC or S4 HANA system. The event is, let's say, sales order is created, or goods receipt is done against a purchase order. Okay. Now, once the goods receipt is done against the purchase order, you want to trigger an email notification to the requisitioner. Requisitioner is the person who initiated the request to purchase that material. Now, what I can do is, I can listen that event with the event mesh on BTP. Once I listen that event on BTP within build process automation, I can trigger the email notification, and with the details, I can send a notification or email to the requisitioner saying, okay, this material, this quantity has been received in this plant and it is available in this storage location. I'm just giving an example, okay? Or now, let's say you want to issue the goods to the customer. Now you are, I know that determining the route determination in sales process, you have standard parameters. Okay, this is the source country and then destination country and so on, weight, depending on various parameters, you determine the route. Now, in certain countries, you cannot ask the truck driver to be on road beyond a certain number of hours at a stretch. So they have to take rest. Okay. So your route should be dynamically determined to ensure or to find the route which is shorter, which takes less time to reach the destination. We know that shorter doesn't always mean less time. No, sometimes shorter route may take more time considering the traffic. Now, the objective is when goods are being issued, the route should be chosen to ensure the shorter time frame to reach the destination. You can't have any parameter within SAP to know that because this is dynamic. You can't control that. So you need an API that reads the data from Google Maps, for example, and determine that route. Now what I can do is, when I am issuing the goods, that is a trigger. With that trigger, I can check in build process automation and send an API to Google Maps, find out the route, and then come back and update in the sales document. I mean, at the time of delivery, the route data. I'm just throwing some examples. Okay, if you have questions, ask me. So the point is, um, you can play with build process automation. Or for example, let's say you have certain Z transaction codes, and those Z transaction codes are to be executed in a specific sequence, and there is no much value addition by doing them manually. It's a boring task to do the same thing every day. Okay, so when there is no value addition, why should a human being involved in a routine mundane task? In that case, you can use screen recording. You can automate that process. The desktop agent, the desktop agent logs into SAP. Okay, let me put it this way. If you want, the desktop agent takes certain details from Excel spreadsheet, logs into SAP, provides those details as selection parameters in a specific Z transaction code, runs the process. If you want, you can download the log and then send an email just to be sure everything is working. If at all it fails, you can trigger a notification with the log. Many things. Okay. Now, Surya, please go ahead with any other question. Then, meanwhile, let's see.
Yeah, sure, Venkat. So the my next question is, so every SAP customers are concerned about the security, right? So how the data is being controlled based on the user role, or do we have any access management settings that support the restricting the user to access SAP Build apps?
Well, yeah, basically, you are asking about authorization. Yes, because, okay, see, there are two things. BTP, your application, your build apps application cannot directly reach your on-premise system. There is a cloud connector in between. Okay, so there is a security because cloud connector is not on cloud. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Cloud connector is not on cloud. Cloud connector is on premise within your system, within your premises, on a local machine. Now that is one level of security. So basically, the point is you are not exposing your on-premise system to internet. That's one. And second one, so that's the reason you are creating BTP destination where you are specifying the credentials. And third one, when you are deploying the application on work zone, you are giving the authorization. Not everybody can access your application. Whoever has the role created for that specific purpose, they only can have access to the application. And the fourth one, even if they have access to application, when the call is going to the backend system, the call goes with the principal propagation, meaning that the call goes with the users. Okay, let me put it this way. Let's say you are executing the application with your email ID. Okay, and the call goes to cloud connector, and from there to backend system, and then in the backend system looks at your user ID by checking the email ID and then finds out the user and then executes the OData service call. Meaning that if your user in backend system doesn't have access to that specific service, you cannot get the results back to your application in the front end. So at various levels, there are checks and balances. So that's not a problem. Now, citizen developers will be more in demand as SAP Build is more no-code, low-code solution. No, okay, let's answer Nitin Tiwari's question. First of all, I don't like to use citizen developer term. This is not realistic. Not every business user can develop the applications or automate the processes. That's not correct, as I said earlier. So I don't like to use citizen developer term. Point two, only people, developers, and then functional consultants who intend to learn, who have the understanding of the application, structure of the application, they only can learn. We need to practice. And the third one, it's not completely no code. If you want to use code, you can do coding. Yes, I'm right. Okay. For example, in build apps, there is a inbuilt JavaScript function with input and output parameters. You can write the code in between and then get the result. If at all you need it, okay, it's not mandatory. And likewise, in build process automation, you can have your own custom script in automations, okay? Again, JavaScript. So that's it for that. And I think we have only 2 minutes, Surya. You have any question, or maybe we can just thank our people who have joined the session. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we can thanks our people, Venkat. Yeah.
Thank you so much, my friend Surya, for
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Venkat. Hope to meet you soon.
looks like we had a great time, and then let's see. Soon we'll have another session as well. Yeah. Thank you all whoever attended the session. I really appreciate for taking time uh, to attend the session. Thank you so much once again, Surya, and all the people who have attended. Thank you. Bye bye.